People lost hope as misfortunes accumulated. Emotions were numbered by the continuing despair. Nothing was positive. Possibilities that gave a hint of hope quickly dissolved with tears. Eventually, even tears would be difficult to appear. Migrating families most often found themselves on the road for many days searching for jobs. Leaflets promised jobs, giving people a bit of hope. But due to the lack of mass communication, people didn't realize the vast extent of the drought and its influence on so many. If a job was within reach, by the time the family traveled to go get it, it was taken by another struggling family. The crop was devastated by starving wildlife, or the company itself was corrupt. They felt betrayed. But they were survivors and got back onto the road to find other opportunities. A story of such a situation was recorded by Imogene Chapin as she and her family moved from camp to camp, only to arrive in California with 7 cents to her name.
We left our home in Arkansas. 'Twas in the month of June. To find a job away out west, of course we'd find one soon. We headed for Missouri, the old show-me state. But jobs were scarce, they all told us. You're just a little late. Then on to Kansas we did go, the state that grows the wheat. In harvest we would work a while, we'd have good things to eat. Here's work for everyone, we thought. In fact, we almost knew it. They only shook their heads and said, the hoppers beat you to it. We would not let our spirits sink. We'd find work on the farm. I've heard it said most all my life, the third time is the charm. We'd go to Colorado, where all the lettuce grows. We had to cross the Rockies. We almost froze our nose. We thought we'd stop and ask for work and find a place to stay. A sandstorm beat us to that job and blew it all away. They told us then of Utah, some work we'd surely find. The cherry trees were ripe with fruit, the people all were kind. So once again we headed, our flivver down the hill. There was no doubt we really knew our pocketbooks would fill. But like the other places, a freeze had just struck there. And there was no job for us at all, the cherry trees were bare. No work in Arizona or Nevada, so they say. So on to California, we started on our way. They said in California that money grew on trees, that everyone was going there just like a swarm of bees. We landed here one summer day. How hot, I can't quite tell. I'll leave the rest of you to guess. I know you can quite well. The goat heads punctured our old shoes. The sun had baked our brain. We stayed out here about 3 months before we saw rain. The ants, they bite. The flies, they buzz. Mosquitoes call you cousin. And when you try to take a nap, they bite you by the dozen. We drink our coffee from tin cans. Eat sardines by the peck. If I could catch that fisherman, I'd break his gosh darn neck. We eat soup beans 3 times a day. We sleep on the floor. I guess you're tired of reading this, or I would write some more. I guess you wonder who wrote this. I know you think I'm crazy. You do not miss it very much. My brain is rather hazy. I tried so hard to find the trees on which the money grows. I walked through this hot sand so much, it's blistered my poor toes. Perhaps the money has all fell off, or just a little late. The one who wrote this crazy thing lives in cabin 228.